Hi, this is Dr. Whiting again, and today I want to talk to you about a particular kind of dietary supplement that for a while was extremely popular, and in many circles it's still quite popular today. But like many of these things in the nutrition industry, there's a lot of misinformation about them. Today I want to talk to you about what we call colloidal trace minerals. Now, people have argued, mostly marketing people, over the years as to which types of minerals are better. We'll get to that in a second, but what we're talking about today are what we call trace minerals, those micro trace nutrients that your body needs in extremely small but highly essential amounts. And sadly, this group of minerals, these micro trace or essential minerals, are the most deficient group of minerals in the human diet. And the reason for that is that those were the first nutrients to vanish when we started modern day farming. You see, at some point in the late 1930s, early 40s, the U.S. Department of Agriculture discovered what we now call the Npk Philosophy of Farming. And the Npk Philosophy of Farming was that if you use the right combinations of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium or potash, hence NPK, you could make any plant grow much faster, much healthier, much bigger, produce greater amounts of food, and life would be wonderful. And so in the United States and in many other industrialized nations around the world, the common way of farming today is primarily with the NPK philosophy, knowing which combination and ratio of those three minerals each particular crop requires. Unfortunately, plants, like human beings and other living things, need a lot of other nutrients for health. So the Npk philosophy of farming really created very unhealthy plants, and hence very nutrient deficient and unhealthy foods. And that was passed on to the animals who consumed those foods as feed, so much so that today any farmer or rancher who's raising any kind of livestock knows that if they want to have a successful yield, they need to supplement those animals' diet with vitamins. Yet when you talk to a physician, a medical doctor, about the need for vitamins and minerals in the human diet, their answer is almost universally, "Ah, no, you don't need that." Well, if livestock need it, how come we don't? We're on the end of the food chain. So if they don't have the nutrients they need and we consume them, guess what? We don't have those nutrients either. And so from 1935, 1940 forward, this condition has gotten worse and worse to where the majority of farmlands in the United States and in many countries around the world today provide virtually none of these 70 plus essential trace minerals. In fact, in 1934, a group of scientists in the Midwest working outside of the University of Missouri were so concerned about this mineral loss, or the demineralization of our farmlands and our soils and hence our foodstuffs, that they prepared a special report and submitted it to the United States Congress. That report became known as Senate Document Number 264. And in that article, the scientists warned the lawmakers that if we didn't change the way we farmed and started reintroducing some of these small but essential microtrace elements back into the farmlands so that they would be reintroduced into the plants, animals, and human food chain, that likely in 50 years we would see the greatest epidemic of chronic, non-infectious degenerative disease that we have ever seen in human history. And today, sadly, you and I, folks, are the living result of that prediction. We have arthritis, heart disease, diabetes. We have prostate problems. We have many forms of cancer, most of which can be linked back, at least originally, to subtle, minor, but very, very vital nutrients, or in this case, the lack thereof. And because these minerals are so essential, I put them in all the full spectrum formulas that I develop. And at our research center, we develop formulas for a wide variety of companies. And we always use these essential trace minerals as a foundation for those formulas. Before I conclude, I want to tell you that not all of these minerals are created equal. First of all, one of the greatest myths that have been promoted by certain marketing groups is that you want to have ionic minerals and not non-ionic minerals. Well, the first thing you need to know is that all minerals are ionic. Basically, that means they carry an electrical charge. And that's what minerals are. They're electrical organisms, essentially. They bear an electrical charge. What you really need to know is that the two different types of minerals are either anionic or cationic. Anionic meaning negatively charged, cationic meaning positive. Now, in nature, some minerals are naturally found in a cationic or cationic state or the anionic state, negative or positive. However, when plants take these minerals up, they become part of their organic compounds, and through the process of photosynthesis, these minerals become what we call bioavailable, meaning that they're compounded with plant chemicals. And when animals and people ingest those minerals from organic sources, they are highly bioavailable, which means they are highly available to the living system of animals and human beings. This means that the absorption will be increased. So when you're looking for an essential trace mineral product, you want to firstly look for the source. It should be what they call plant-derived minerals from plant sources. Secondly, other factors that can affect the absorption of minerals would include the pH. Please keep in mind that all minerals, regardless of which one, are absorbed into the human body far faster and far easier in an acid environment. So when these minerals are acidic, which is why the health food industry chelates minerals, chelation merely acidifies them, it makes them more available to the cells of the body. Hence you will absorb more and lose less. So the second thing you want to look for in a trace mineral product is it acidic? You definitely want to avoid alkaline mineral products. Other factors that can affect these minerals include particle size. Hence, colloids are very highly absorbable because they're very small particles. And of course, when you combine these together, particle size, such as colloids, the proper pH, which in my opinion is 5.0 or less, and the source, meaning they're plant-derived or they're organic sourced minerals. They come from living plant compounds. When you put those three factors together, the absorption rate of these essential trace minerals skyrockets and is available rapidly to the living cells of the body. The formula that we developed here at our research center is called essential trace minerals. And essential trace minerals are available pretty much countrywide. And if you have trouble finding that particular formula, it is made by a company called Phoenix Nutritionals. If you'd like more information about our trace minerals, or if you'd like a copy of our special report on identifying trace minerals, called Not All Minerals Are Created Equal, you can contact our research center at 1-888-454-8464. Or you can email us at askthedoc, ASKTHEDOC, at healthyinformation.com. This is Dr. Whiting, and thanks for listening.